Hello, love. Welcome to the Libran Key. My name is Elene, and this is day 2 of 7 on the winter solstice meditations with Mama Iset, also known as Mother Isis, and tens of thousands of other names. I should say, well, 1212 on the clock as I say that, 21 on the counter. There's something about the energy of the number 3 that could be something that is coming up for you around this time. Before I get into the messages that she wants to share today, I just want to preface these, what we're calling as, she's using the phrase winter meditations. Because this encompasses the energy that we are working with in a timely manner now around the winter solstice and moving into Christmas. And by extension of that, other celebrations around this time of year in different religions, like Hanukkah, for example, falling the same time this year. And isn't there another one that's around this time? I think Diwali. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm hearing Festival of Lights, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it is, right? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why in the collective consciousness, we celebrate different festivals, celebrations at this time of year, and especially around the light in the Northern Hemisphere, okay? Because these are the darkest days of the year. They are the darkest days of the year. And one of the main reasons for her coming in for these meditations so strongly for the next, well, now it will be 6 days, is for us to really move with the rhythms of the cycles of Mama Gaia, and to move with the rhythm of the cycles of us around the sun. 2:22 on the counter. Please excuse me if I say clock or counter interchangeably. You'll know, okay? Based on what I've referred to previously, 2:22 on the counter as I say that. And she's really, and she's showing me the High Priestess. She's showing me the energies of the key 2 in Tarot, in the High Priestess, and in the Divine Feminine. She also wanted to add, coming off of yesterday's message, which was something that I didn't include in yesterday's message, that the number 12 also, because she had put up a few, she had directed me to put up a few numbers here, like 1221, 1212 is another one that just came through now. 1221, 1224, and 1234, and also the number 12 being significant in that it is a representation of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. When you add the 1 and the 2 together, you get a 3, which is what the divine masculine and the divine feminine create. They create life, okay? Going back to the law of, I'm hearing causation. That's interesting, because I was going to say law of polarity, but she's saying causation, cause and effect. Okay, and now she wants me to get into the message, which is connected to this. So moving into the meditation, I heard, and it was sort of a mix of, I heard the title Ship of Fools, but I was hearing it like the Aretha Franklin song, or some kind of, I was hearing Aretha Franklin's voice singing Ship of Fools, like the phrase, but I was hearing the music of INXS's Disappear. And then I was shown the allegory of Plato's cave. And immediately was like, I'm going to look up what Ship of Fools means. What does that mean? Is that a song? What is this? Like, because the lyrics of that song, because it is a song, but then I found out there's also a movie by that name, which is a Kubrick film, which is really interesting if you've ever studied Stanley Kubrick and the kind of things that he explores in his films, okay? And INXS, and hearing Michael Hutchence singing Disappear, And what Michael Hutchence also represented, his soul, his energy, and the lyrics in that song, it's all connected. Those are also little confirmations, little affirmations, even though she's saying they're not little, for you, okay? When all of these things sort of come through and they're very specific, there's a message here for each and every one of us in some way, okay? Maybe that will prompt you to go listen to that song, and there will be something in that song for you. Maybe it'll prompt you to read up on Stanley Kubrick. Maybe you'll learn something in that. I'm hearing discernment. Interesting. Discernment in everything, of course, but sometimes these things actually teach us discernment, which is an ongoing thing during this time in this era. Okay, so I looked up Ship of Fools, and I never knew this, but this is in Plato's Republic. And I majored in philosophy in university, and we never read about the Ship of Fools. Isn't that interesting? And I kind of understand now why when I read about what the Ship of Fools is about. We learned about the allegory, we learned about the cave, but we never learned about the Ship of Fools. So I'm reading from a website here called Allegory Explained, Ship of Fools. And here we go. I'm just going to read right from it. The Ship of Fools is an allegory that originated from Book 6. That's interesting. She's also pointing that number out in terms of the 6 being the number connected to Venus and the number of justice in the Venusian sense. That's interesting. And choice connected to the key 6 in tarot. She's showing me the justice card in that as well, which is number 11. It's key 11 in the tarot, but she's saying it all applies. Okay. And I'm also seeing that add up to 17, which is the key of the star in tarot as well. Baptism, renewal, balancing the, intuition with logic as well is what's coming through for that. Really emphasizing the number 7 there too. Okay. So a lot of this has to do with rebalancing, okay, as I move forward and read this. So starting again. The Ship of Fools is an allegory that originated from Book 6 of Plato's Republic. It is a story about a ship with a dysfunctional crew, which is intended to represent the problems of governance prevailing in a political system not based on expert knowledge. The allegory has been interpreted in various ways over the centuries, but its central message remains the same. Without wise leadership, society will inevitably descend into chaos. What she wants to bring through here, and I'm hearing the Greek phrase. We have a phrase in Greek, and I think it's in other languages too. O kalos o kapitanios, the good captain, δείχνει στη φορτούνα, shows himself, herself, in the storm, okay? Loosely translated, that's what it means. But it's interesting, oh my God, I'm starting to talk Greek now. When we use that word fortuna, right? It sounds like fortune. It sounds like she's saying to me in what is put across someone's path or their fate, okay? So there's a meaning here. It all comes back to sovereignty. This is what it's all coming back to, okay? She wants me to read the next paragraph, okay? In Plato's Republic, the Ship of Fools is used as a metaphor for the state. The ship represents the state, the captain represents the ruler, and the crew represents the citizens. 12:21 on the clock right now, and she's saying to me, but actually it's the other way around. According to Plato, the captain must be a wise and knowledgeable person who is capable of steering the ship safely through stormy waters. But the captain is actually us. We are the rulers, and I'm putting that in quotation mark because there's so many different ways that we can infer that word, right? Like rule of law, measurement. This is interesting because she's bringing in the energy of the scales now, and she showed me that in meditation, this energy of rebalancing, the energy of the scales. She's directing me to the archetype of Libra, of justice again. And Libra coming from the word that's connected to pound or measurement in terms of weight. So we're going back to this energy of measuring. I'm also hearing distribution. I'm hearing distribution of wealth and power. Oh my goodness. And now, again, she's directing me to the clock 1222 with the 222 being the emphasis here and the rebalancing that needs to take place, going back to this divine feminine energy. Okay. If the captain is foolish or incompetent, the ship will be lost at sea. Similarly, if the citizens are ignorant or misguided, the state will be in chaos. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. Please take whatever resonates in the highest degree and in the most exalted sense, is what she's directing me to say. Because we cannot in any way, within a 10 to 15 minute video, cover this. We may expand on this moving forward. But what she's showing me is this back and forth energy of, again, rebalance. I'm seeing the energies of the lemniscate. But what this is, it's not in any way being presented as a closed loop or a repeating cycle, although it can be that. What she's showing me is the importance of us understanding our power and our sovereignty, quote unquote, as citizens of the universe, of the galaxy. Okay. And that word citizen, there's something in that word that we need to look at more deeply into, because I'm using that word here in a very sovereign way. And it's the best word that I can, like what she's saying to me in terms of the analogy that we're working with this allegory. Put it this way, she's showing me the energy of service versus servitude, the energy of those that are quote unquote in power are actually meant to be in service to those that quote unquote are not in power. There's also the energy here of whether we are in our own power or not. And on that note, she wants me to pop cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Also, there's a reason why she's reminding me to bring these in now. I'm working with the energies of Celestite and Selenite. And I didn't really realize that until I put it down and made the notes here of what crystals I was working, 1313 on the counter as I say that, and how they sound so similar. Celestite, the celestial realm. Selenite, the moon connected to light, okay? Selene in Greek. That is the Greek word, the true ancient origin of the Greek word for moon, right? We have another word in Greek, phegari, which is also a word for moon, but I don't think that that is actually Greek in origin. I'm going to check that out. I don't think it's not Greek in origin from what I know, because I always know the ancient Greek word for the moon is Selene, okay? And oftentimes that's spelt Selene in English, Selene, okay? Essentially that is the word for light, okay? So that root, interesting. So the word, the suffix or the prefix 1410 on the counter as I say that, okay? Okay, so the word, the prefix L in Greek, and oftentimes this is in other languages too, okay, where we have EL either at the beginning of a word or a name or at the end of the name. It's connected to light or God, okay? So she's speaking about the energies of the light here. Celestite connected to the stars. Suns, 1414 on the counter as I say that. You could interpret it as that. And Selene, when we with that particular, what do you call it? Like it's not syntax because we're not talking, or the organization of the letters in that word is what she's showing me, referring to moon and moonlight. That is how the ancient Greeks understood her, is what she's saying to me. Okay, so working with these energies here, you see how they're very reflective again? There's more to be said about this reflective time of the year and what these meditations are, okay? And what's interesting is that I always see celestite as like light hitting water, but now I'm only seeing stars in this. It's crazy how she's showing it to me. I'm simply seeing the twinkle of stars in the night sky. And this celestite crystal, also really great for winter, is what she's showing me doing the winter work. We're going to pop a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle here. Interesting. The cards with her get really wild. Like water, like they move like water. Okay. Time for a nap in reverse coming out. I've never seen this card pop out. 24, that is a 6 again. Okay, another nod to the number 6. And underneath the deck, we have Unfinished Symphony in reverse, the number 10. I'm hearing unfinished business with that. She wants me to read Time for a Nap. Remember that anytime in this particular deck that words come out, oh my God, words. Why would I say that? Words in reverse. I was going to say cards in reverse. Okay, so again, bringing in the power of words here, what we are saying to ourselves. And she's showing me Ship of Fools again. Ship of Fools. Okay. Time for a nap. 24. Okay. So obviously, if this was, I was going to say, before I got ahead of myself, whenever one of these cards comes out in reverse in this deck, the message that is given is with the intention of protection. Some 1717 on the counter as I say that, showing me the star card again, this energy of being safe, this energy of being shielded. I'm seeing the 1 foot in the water and the 1 foot again on the earth. And there's this balancing of the conscious and the unconscious, or the subconscious, and how that informs through the power of words how we think consciously. And there are cycles that we are closing out with regard to this, but this is the message, the support that she wants to give us with regard to that as well, in the event that we are struggling with this, okay? The protection message for Time for a Nap. You are a human being, not a human doing. Is it possible you're suffering from workaholism? Could you be the one who thinks it's your job to save everyone, to be there for everyone, and to go until you can barely see straight? You've gone as far as you can. You've worked hard and nourished people and projects, but now you are an empty well and have no reserves for others or for yourself. Don't let your ego keep you going full speed when your body and spirit need rest. Exhaustion is calling you to stop what you're doing altogether and take a break. If you don't, the appearance of this card could portend a possible illness. Let's cancel, clear, delete that, okay? Because this is the preparation and protection coming through. That stems from being totally overwhelmed. You will feel like a new person if you take that break. Do it now. Do it now. Isn't that funny? And yesterday she was saying, claim it now. Claim it now. Claim your healing now. Do it now. Do it now. And what's interesting is that we got an image of the moon here again. And this beautiful little, it looks like a fox to me. That's lovely. The fox is a highly sensitive creature. 1919 on the counter as I say that. And that's the key of the sun, again, in tarot. So there is a really big message here that she's wanting to reiterate right now around taking the time out to rest during this time period as we approach the solstice in the darkest days of the year. This is what we do naturally. This is what we do. And she's showing me now, we're going back to the energy of the Ship of Fools. and how governance, we need to extend this concept of governance, not just to the government and the state, as Plato speaks about and speaks to in the Republic, but the general illusion. The Maya is one way to put that, the indoctrination, and this hits on many, many, many different layers and levels, whether it's the programming you grew up with, the indoctrination, the beliefs that you still hold that are keeping you in some way from being in the flow of all of life and creation, reflected during this time, reflected during this winter solstice, and as we move into Christmas as well, okay? Is how she's showing it to me. I'm going to end it there. There's a lot here. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mama Iset, for being here with us. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with us in this space. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are, and I will see you again here tomorrow in love and liberation always.